Here's a demonstration of my no recoil ASVAL build. Top 5 meta weapons in Black Ops 6. Let's go. Guys, depending on the map, you're gonna want to pick one of these meta guns. You can't just use one gun for every single map. That's not how it works. So, first off, let's start with an assault rifle. This gun is the ASVAL. I highly suggest it for around medium range to almost long range engagements. But not fully long range. We have a different AR, 2 different ARs for that specific case. I'm also gonna get into perks later, so make sure you stick around for that part, because I have a recommendation on what to use in public matches to make sure you get the most kills in a match while minimizing the amount of deaths you have in a match. So for the ASVAL, as I said, it's more of a medium range, close range as well, but not really long range. It still works, but it's not made for that. So the barrel is going to be the suppressed long barrel just to extend that range. Without it, it's only going to be like effective at like 10 meters with the 21 damage. At the long barrel, you get an extra 4 meters, which is quite a lot. Then for the freaking underbarrel, we got the vertical foregrip. The vertical foregrip adds horizontal recoil, which is very much necessary. Based on my testing, you need this recoil control because otherwise it just starts shaking off target here and there while you're shooting the gun. We want to hit every single bullet we can. Next up, the magazine is the extended mag 3, because in public matches you're playing against 6 people and this gun's fire rate is extremely high, the highest of all the meta guns that I'm going to show you today. 896 rate per minute. That's fast. So we need a maximum amount of mags against 6 players in a lobby. Next up, quick draw grip. Reason we're going for this grip and not something like an ergonomic grip. Reason is that we're gonna use this more so at range. You know, we're not really gonna we're gonna use this to push people, but it's not gonna be a super aggressive build. We're gonna have SMGs for super aggressive playstyles. So using this is gonna allow you to un-ADS and ADS in. For when you're holding down multiple lanes, you're gonna be able to un-ADS and ADS back in quickly. Lastly, we have the recoil springs. They're gonna be on a lot of guns today. The reason for that is that this thing just helps out a lot with almost every single gun that you use, minimizing recoil. Because at range, when you do use this gun, you want to make sure you still hit all those bullets. The next meta gun I'm going to show you guys is the Jackal. It's not my absolute #1 pick for an SMG, but it's very good. We're going to start with an optic. The reason for that is that this gun's iron sight is a little bit difficult to see with. I feel like the blueprint is a little bit better, but either way, a sight is going to be the way to go in my opinion. Muzzle, we're going to be using compensator to lower the recoil because, as I've said before with the other gun as well, we want to be accurate at any range. This allows us to do so. Vertical foregrip, just like earlier, we need to have that control. I have tried the Ranger foregrip as well to get a little bit more sprint speed, but I did notice it just became a little bit too inaccurate at range, and I don't want that in a pop match. I want to be hitting every shot that I can. Magazine, we're going to go with extended mag 2s. Once again, we're playing against 6 people. If it was ranked, yes, you can just use 30 rounds, obviously. But since we're playing against so many players in a single lobby, 50 rounds in my opinion is the way to go. Then lastly, we're going to use ergonomic grip on this gun because this is an SMG. So what we want is super fast slide to fire speed. If you guys look on the bottom right, if you use no grip or just one of these other grips, slide to fire speed is 320 milliseconds. And I'm going to show you guys right now how fast it currently shoots with my attachment. You see how quickly you can start shooting after sliding? And now I'm going to show you guys how slow you can start firing when you use a regular grip. You're gonna be like, wow, that's kind of insane, the difference. You see that? That is super slow. So for every SMG, I always suggest using ergonomic grip or CQB grip. It depends. In this case, I went with an ergonomic grip because I wanted to lower the ADS speed a little bit more. It was at 215. Sprint to fire wasn't as important to me as the ADS speed. For the third meta gun, this gun truly has to be used like an AR. This is the Model L. This gun is definitely my top pick for assault rifles. Reason for that is that it has extremely high damage, super good bullet velocity. It has kind of a lower fire rate, 600 RPM. However, it is so accurate, you almost cannot miss a bullet with this gun. So, microflex, first of all, iron sights are not usable. Microflex to see what the hell you're shooting at. Compensator to lower the recoil. Reinforced barrel to add some bullet velocity and damage range. You can also just add damage range, but the reason I didn't go with that is that, in my opinion, bullet velocity is super important when you're an assault rifle user. Reason for that is that you're going to be generally at a further range, and therefore you want the bullets to hit as quickly as possible. So people just disappear off the map and they're like, what just happened, bro? I got sniped. No, you just got beamed by the Model L, my friend. Underbarrel, we're going to go with vertical foregrip. The reason we're not going for a ranger foregrip is because we don't need sprint speed on an AR, okay? We're going to be sitting more in the back. We're going to be sitting on head glitches. And even if we're not camping, we still want to be at least medium range when we peek. And at that range, the sprint speed isn't that important. Fire mod, recoil springs. I have actually been successful with the rapid fire attachment here. However, slightly inaccurate at times, man. So at the end of the day, you want to be as accurate as possible with an AR. So recoil springs are more worth it rather than having a little bit faster fire rate. The fourth gun I want to show you guys that is meta is gonna be the C9. The C9 SMG is my favorite SMG, and the reason for that is that it has faster fire rate than the Jackal while having, I'm pretty sure, more damage. Yes, more damage on the body while having faster fire rate. That is insane. So on this gun, we use the compensator, minimize recoil. On this gun, because we don't have to use an optic, we can use one extra attachment, and because of that I was able to squeeze in a Ranger foregrip, which gives you sprint speed, which is pretty important when using an SMG because you're gonna be up close in people's face, so you want to be fast. It also gives a little bit of recoil control, which is important. Next up, extended mags. Once again, we're playing 6v6. There's 6 people on the map, 5 to 6 people. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's 5v5 nowadays. Either way, that's a lot of people in comparison to ranked. So 50 rounds, it doesn't really have that big of a penalty, so you're gonna be fine. Rear grip, ergonomic grip again. Once again, you get some insane stats on the slide to fire speed, which is important when we're playing aggressive. Then we go to the fire mods, recoil springs, because we want to reduce that recoil. The iron sights on this gun are super clean. I just want to show you guys. Isn't this beautiful? Last but not least, guys, XM4, amazing gun. Super high fire rate, in my opinion, not quite as OP, let's say, as the Model L, but still a great gun to use. Microflex, of course, so that we can see at range properly. Compensator, reduce the recoil. Vertical foregrip. I know you pretty much understand what I'm gonna say at this point. The reason we're using extended mags at this one is because the fire rate is so high in comparison to the other assault rifle that we want to make sure that we have enough mags to finish everyone, right? Fire mods, we're gonna go with recoil springs to reduce the recoil. And then here is my favorite pistol in Black Ops 6, the Stryder 22. Reason for that is that it shoots extremely fast. Just to give you guys a demonstration, watch this. It also has super little recoil at range. Even though the sight does move a lot when you shoot, it's still very stable. Watch this. I also think it's just a great way to keep yourself used to tapping either on controller or keyboard and mouse. If you always use like super slow fire rate or automatic pistols or automatic ARs, I feel like you will lose a little bit of skill in terms of being able to click fast. So anyways, the build, Kepler Microflex, I really needed to see properly, but it's not necessarily mandatory. For me it is though. Compensator, lower the recoil, because it is quite insane how much that reticle bounces up and down. Reinforced barrel for more range, and bullet velocity, because sometimes you want to kill people at range after you maybe hit them with your AR already or SMG. You want to get the final bullets in. It's good to have some extra bullet velocity with the pistol then. CQB grip to make sure you get that slide. The fire speed again, guys, because this is going to be generally used up close. So you want to have fast slide to fire, just like with the SMGs. Rapid fire mod to be able to tap even faster. And let me tell you, this stuff is crazy. If you notice that you're not even able to max out the fire speed, turn on the recoil springs. You're gonna probably notice quite a bit of a difference with the recoil control. Next up, when it comes to tacticals and lethals, if you're gonna be pop stomping, you need a stim shot, because if you're pop stomping, you're generally not being super tactical with throwing concussion grenades out. So stim shot is what I suggest, and lethal, you can use a Semtex. Semtex, in my opinion, are overpowered in this game. The fuse is super short and I almost always get the kill, and also other people just almost always kill me when they throw this. Next up, the field upgrade I tend to use is the assault pack to make sure I get my ammo back. And the reason for that is that I don't use scavenger. So we're gonna get into the perks now. For the perks, I highly suggest 3 red perks. Reason for that is that you unlock Enforcer when you do this. This gives you a temporary buff to movement speed, so super good for a pop stomping rusher. And it gives you health regen. It does take a little bit for your health to start regenning, so keep that in mind. Don't instantly get into a new gunfight because your health won't be fully replenished yet. For perk 1, we're gonna use Dexterity. You can also use Scavenger if you prefer to use a different field upgrade. But I use Dexterity because I definitely notice a difference in how much shake is happening when I'm sliding, etc. The next perk I highly suggest is a perk called Assassin. It marks the person on the highest skill streak on your map, so you get kind of a free UAV. And when you do kill them, you get a bounty pack that you can pick up, which gives you more points. More points equals you're closer to your streak, such as an advanced UAV or HARP, it's called in this game. And then you're gonna be frying more. Perk number 3 is double time. The reason that we're using double time is generally if you're a pub stomper, you're gonna be rushing around the map, right? Otherwise, if you're playing pub, so you're not really rushing like as much as possible, you're not really gonna improve much in my opinion. So I do suggest rushing the most you can. And in order to rush, you want to have your tactical sprint ready. So there you go. So then what you do for the wild card is use perk greed, and you want to choose an extra perk. The extra perk I want you guys to use is either ghost, flak jacket, or ninja. You're gonna use ghost if the lobby is not too filled with explosives. You're gonna use flak jacket if it is, right? You're constantly dying to noob tubers or whatever. And you're gonna use ninja if you're playing SND. I do stream on Twitch. I do stream on YouTube daily. So make sure you're there for the next time that I go live. See you guys.